Hi everybody, Sam from RoadTrailRun. We're going to take a look today at the On Cloudswift 2 or 21 edition. So when I think about On, and I've run in a whole bunch of them over the years, first I think of craftsmanship, incredible uppers, Swiss engineering here. Here in the Cloudswift 2 we have 100% recycled mesh upper. As you can see, it's very soft. There's a very flexible, rubbery kind of plastic cage because the upper is entirely one piece of engineered mesh, and those bands hold you to the shoe. So looking inside, you can see the tongue and the sides all meet nicely. There's just a very slight, very smooth seam there. The Achilles hold is pretty narrow but very well padded. And then you've got a very high kind of vertical swept back collar, but this is flexible up here and then it gets stiffer down a bit lower. The second thing that I think of with On is the cloud tech elements, the clouds, which run through the shoe all the way through and deform kind of as you run. You'll also notice a very pronounced rocker profile. So this is a rocker-based shoe, and in below the red is On Speedboard, which kind of is definitely a plate kind of element. It's a 7mm drop shoe. We don't quite yet have the full stack height. Now, what On says about the new Cloudswift is that it features enhanced forefoot cushioning, a re-engineered speedboard for greater flex at the heel, and a more rigid forefoot, mid to forefoot for a snappy response. So we're going to try that on the run today and tell you how it all goes. So the foam here is Helion, which is said to be temperature resistant. We did test the Cloudswift 1, and it's a relatively firm foam. This is not a softie. Now, in terms of its weight, I'm estimating just under 10 ounces or 281 grams based on this sample, which weighs 9.63 ounces or 273 grams in a US 8.5. So compared to my last Cloudswift, we lose a very welcome 10 grams or just a bit less than 0.4 ounces. So it's in the sub 10 ounce daily trainer kind of class. I tried them on, and I'll give you more fit impressions, but they seem to fit true to size. A very soft, comfortable hold. They come in at $150, and they're released now, so they're available. So we're going to take them out for a run, give you some impressions. So I took the Cloudswift out for a first run along the New Hampshire coast. It was a progression run. I started 9:20 per mile, ended up around 8:10 or so. So they felt best right about at my marathon pace at about 8:30 per mile. So let's talk fit. I'm wearing fairly heavy, darn tough socks today. I'm at my true to size 8.5. This is my wider foot. I laced a little bit less tight than my narrower foot, thinking I would need some more pull on the narrow foot, and I felt a little bit of bite lacing it tight from the orange triangles and also a bit from the arch. So I think with the band or the cage, you don't need to lace as tight as you might think you do to get good support, because otherwise support was just fantastic. I just completely forgot about the shoe. The heel hold was great, plenty of toe box room, even with the heavy socks, just enough length. So really this is a very, very fine fitting upper for me anyway. So this is a daily trainer. Leans a bit more to the faster side of things because to really activate the rocker and our speedboard, you do need to move along. Although at my slower paces around 9:20, the first few miles, things went okay as well, but you can really see that rocker. So at slower paces, you kind of feel a bit of a bump. I'm not sure that'll be a permanent condition, because On are known for being taking some break-in, and as the run went on, and of course I was picking up the pace, the bump went away. Right about at midfoot, but as you pick up the pace and work towards the front rocker, which is flexible, which is a key kind of difference in some of the carbon plated shoes, you really start to fly along. As far as the cushioning, it is on the dense, firm side. However, that I'm just talking about the foam. The overall effect here is of a considerable amount of vibration and shock reduction, and it's really because of the mechanical, I guess you'd call, geometry of the CloudTech elements in the mix. And the firmness also comes from, of course, the speed board, which is polypropylene. You can see through there. In terms of how it compares to the prior one, well, my memory's a little hazy, but I can tell you I didn't run much in them. They were very firm, not really much fun. There's clearly more cushioning here, although I wouldn't call it necessarily softer, but there's more cushion stack, certainly at the heel, the new geometry. There's no kind of rough landings at all. The roll forward is nice, and then you get to that front, and the front's unusual because we do have a plate here, polypropylene, not carbon, so the flexibility gives it kind of a longer rocker toe off, really quite pleasant. It isn't a kind of abrupt speed roll like you have in the Sauconys, for example, and it's also not kind of a deep drop in as, say, the Asics Glide Ride or Evo Ride. I found there was plenty of cushioning here for daily training. The ride feeling is very directed in the path of travel and very stable, and now with that extra cushioning effect, it's actually pleasant. At least the back half of the shoe, and to a certain extent the front, reminded me a lot of the Tempo Next from Nike, which has more stack but also has that kind of dense, very deep cushion feel. The cushioning feel is quite similar to the Endorphin Shift from Saucony, but the Saucony has yet more kind of that dense cushion. It also has a more abrupt final speed roll toe off, whereas here there's a more gentle, flexible toe off. So this really kind of, for me, puts On finally on the map as a real running shoe that I could run in. I ran about 8 miles in my progression, and I ended up about 8:58 pace overall, but 8:10. So it suited me very nicely. Legs feel good. So On has done a great job. We're going to have a full multi-tester review real soon on RoadTrailRun.com, our website, but also please subscribe to our channel for all our initial reviews and full reviews in video. Thank you very much for watching.